everybody, before you watch the video, make sure you follow the page, like the video. Hope you enjoy.
Yeah, big time. I want to go back to something. So, you guys were talking a little bit about like money in the sport and competition and that type of thing. I don't like. This is something that I'm kind of. Again, I talk a lot of stuff about culture and all this type of thing, and it's not going to be too crazy. But I find that a lot of the merit that people used to get kind of like admired for doesn't actually matter as much anymore. And this is specific to like sports as well. So I find like a lot of guys that are just popular, they're the ones that are now like getting a lot of, DVD sales or
like somebody like Craig Jones who hasn't won anything since 2015.
Okay, you can use that example, but like obviously the guy has a different thing that's very exciting for people, which is a submission artist, and he finishes people in jiu-jitsu. So I do agree with that. Like, okay, if you took it based on merit, but then it's the excitement factor. Because there's guys that are even less amazing with their technique and finishing people that are, they're doing more seminars, they're doing more competitions, they're getting invited to these things, and it's more based on like how much.
OnlyFans.
Yeah, OnlyFans too. Yeah.
Nicky Rod, Craig, Kit, they all got them.
Yeah.
No, but this goes everywhere, like every sport. They have like volleyball players like that are not as good as the other ones, you know what I mean? But they have OnlyFans and they are making a lot more money than the guys that actually have the merits, and achieve things in the sport. So,
I've seen UFC fighters come out and say, "Hey, I'm earning more now doing OnlyFans than I was at the UFC."
Yes.
So it's
new times, eh?
Yeah, and I guess it's down to your view on it. It's just like. If I could get paid for taking some photos, I'd get paid for taking some photos, but no one's paying for this. Yeah. So that's the reality.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, I think it's the excitement of those submission artists as well.
Yeah.
So, if Craig had have tried to have sold his DVDs after his first, I think it was his first ADCC campaign, he lasted about a minute against Homolo. Got Americana, I think it was. I'm pretty sure. Maybe it was Kimura. But if he'd tried to sell DVDs after that, no one would have been interested.
Yeah.
But then he goes back and he keeps on chipping away. Next thing you know, he's submitted Leandro Lowe and Murillo, and it's just like, whoa,
the perfect releasing time. Marketing-wise,
yeah. Well, it's when everything's sort of taking off with BJJ Fanatics.
Yeah, that was like the starting point of like all the DVD stuff getting massive again.
Same as Lockie. If we'd sort of looked at, I'm pretty sure he might have his first campaign at ADCC. I've got a feeling he had Marcelo.
Okay.
And it's like, who wants that first round?
Yeah.
I think it's a combination sometimes. Like if you analyze, for example, Craig Jones, he has super fun game to watch.
Yep.
It's like it's interesting to watch. He market himself after this achievement that is like, submitting these famous guys, Leandro Law, Leandro Law and Murillo, like at a massive, like big main stage in the world for the art. So there was that. So there was a perfect timing after a perfect kind of like win, right? Releasing his material on something that was getting to know by the world, which was all these leg works and etc., which he was ahead of the crowd, you know what I mean, and so becomes a trend.
Yep, and maybe he's put himself into a bubble, but for me, if I was giving him advice, I'd say ride that bubble as long as you can.
Sure. I'm not saying that.
Man, I'm like clapping my hands.
When that bubble pops, like what's going to happen? But if you ride it now, it's like you're going to set yourself up
for later.
And there's one more thing too. I think his charisma, his personality.
Definitely.
I think he adds up a lot. You know what I mean? I think it's that whole package. I think that worked for him really well. Not
I-
necessarily this is not like a cooking recipe has to work for everyone the same way, but for him that catapult him, like, you know.
You know what, I'm trying to, like, I agree with what you guys are saying, and these are like two kind of specific examples. Like, probably him and Gordon are the most like saleable, marketable dudes in jiu-jitsu, and they're, you know, beating everyone. They're doing really well, and they have like certain personalities. One has a very fucking like uber, you know, like a messiah kind of individual that I'm the best, I'm better than everyone, which he is. He's
Full of
beating everyone.
confidence.
Yeah, full of confidence.
Yeah.
And the other one's kind of like a laughy, funny kind of, you know, roly-poly, laughable
He is
guy.
proper larrikin.
Yeah, proper larrikin, takes the piss of everything.
Yeah.
Nothing's too serious. But I'm more talking about just in the general kind of view. Like, there's guys that are multiple time world champions, like in ADCC champions, whatever, that they don't sell DVDs,
So,
or they sell very little, or they don't get that many seminars, or they don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I still think there's guy, even within Australia, like, I don't do very many seminars. I'd like to, yeah. If anyone wants to do seminars, hit me up.
Okay,
I'm welcome to do them. But there's guys that are, you know, in Sydney and Melbourne and stuff like that, you know, might be a purple belt, or, you know, they've competed here and there, but they're doing seminars like every month and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that that's wrong. Maybe they're just really good at marketing themselves or whatever.
I
But
think that's what it,
and this is what I'm kind of getting at. I think with like the way we've become like this virtual world, and everything's online and stuff like that, I think a lot of people buy into that more than the merit of what people's skills are now.
and again, I think it's like with the growing popularity of jiu-jitsu, whether it's down to the expansion of events like ADCC, or if it's down to UFC, people see in jiu-jitsu now, like people that wouldn't have been exposed to it 10 years ago are seeing it now. And it is that excitement. They see somebody like Craig going in and submitting somebody, and they're like, wow, that's amazing. Then they're seeing more and more leg locks working. And now, you know, you'll get the guy coming into the gym that's done 2 lessons, and all of a sudden he's doing these intricate saddle entries and trying to go for heel hooks. It's just like, dude, just slow down. Slow down, learn some fundamentals.
Yeah, that's everyone. like when are we gonna do heel hooks? When are we gonna do this? We can do that, but like, you can't stop people from mounting you every time they engage with you. So let's start with that.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching the video. If you haven't yet already, make sure you subscribe, like, and again, go and check us out on Facebook, on Instagram, like all our platforms. Give us a follow at bjj.101 on Instagram, and go and check out bjj101.com.au to access the full video library.